The sun dipped low over the sprawling backyard, painting everything in warm golden hues as the smell of sizzling burgers and smoky ribs filled the air. Laughter bubbled up from my family like it always did at these gatherings. But for me, that family barbecue wasn't a celebration. It was the moment my heart got torn apart. I'm Sarah. For years, I'd been the steady one in our little world, married to Tom, the man who made me believe in forever. We'd faced our share of quiet storms, especially the endless doctor visits and the ache of waiting for a baby that never came. Infertility had been our private battle, one that left me feeling broken inside more times than I could count. But I kept smiling because that's what you do for family, right? That day, the backyard was alive, kids chasing each other, my in laws sharing stories. And there she stood, Lisa, Tom's sister. She was the golden child, always put together with her two adorable kids and her husband, David, the Navy SEAL who'd just come home from deployment. David was the strong, silent type, his uniform stories legendary, but he mostly kept to himself at these events. I was helping with the salads when Lisa sauntered over, her voice cutting through the chatter like a knife. "Sarah, sweetie," she called out loud enough for everyone to hear, "when are you finally going to make us all aunts and uncles again? Or are you just not trying hard enough? Some women aren't cut out for it, you know. Maybe Tom's patience is wearing thin." She laughed, that light, dismissive laugh, as if it was all a joke. The yard went still. A few relatives forced smiles, but the air felt thick. Tom? He shifted uncomfortably, mumbled something about the grill, and looked away. No defense. No, that's enough, Lisa. My world crumbled in that instant. I felt shattered, like every dream I'd clung to was exposed and mocked under the bright afternoon light. Tears burned behind my eyes, but I swallowed them, forcing a weak smile. "Lisa, please, not now," I said softly. But she just shrugged and turned to the others. "I'm just saying what's true, right?" The betrayal wasn't just her words, it was the silence from everyone I loved. I slipped away to the house, my chest tight, wondering how a perfect day had turned so dark. Little did I know, though, that Lisa's cruel words were about to backfire in ways she never imagined. Her SEAL husband was about to step in, and nothing would ever be the same. I locked myself in the guest bathroom, leaning against the cold tile as sobs finally broke free. The humiliation washed over me like a wave, drowning me in self doubt. How could she say that in front of everyone? And Tom, my own husband, the one who promised to stand by me through everything, he didn't say a word. That silence, it broke me more than Lisa's words ever could. I felt completely betrayed, my trust in our family shattered into pieces. That night, back at home, I couldn't sleep. The words replayed in my mind on a loop. Some women aren't cut out for it. I cried into my pillow, questioning my worth, my marriage, everything. Was I really holding Tom back? The pain was raw, like an open wound that refused to heal. Days blurred into one another. I barely ate, avoided calls from the family, and felt so alone in my destroyed world. But amid the heartbreak, something inside me began to stir, a quiet strength I didn't know I had. I remembered a moment from the week before the BBQ. Lisa had left her phone on the table while chasing her kids. I'd picked it up to hand it to her, but a notification flashed, a message from someone named Mark. "Miss you already. When is David deployed next?" It was innocent enough at first glance, but the heart emojis and the secretive tone made my stomach twist. I hadn't said anything then. Family loyalty, I told myself. Don't stir trouble. Now, though, after her public takedown of me, that memory burned. Was she projecting her own broken marriage onto me? The betrayal ran deeper than I thought. I realized I couldn't stay silent anymore, not when her words had left me so exposed and vulnerable. With trembling hands, I reached out to David, not through the family group, but a private message. David, I need to talk to you about something important. It's about Lisa. He replied almost immediately, his SEAL discipline shining through even in text. Meet me at the park tomorrow, alone. The next day, under the shade of old oak trees, I told him everything. The message I'd seen, the way Lisa had been distant lately, how her perfect facade hid something darker. He listened, his face hardening like stone. He suspected, he said quietly, his voice steady, but filled with pain. Thank you, Sarah, for having the courage I didn't. That conversation shifted everything for me. The pain didn't vanish overnight, but the guilt of knowing her secret turned into resolve. I wasn't the weak one anymore. I was healing, finding my voice. Tom noticed the change in me too. He finally apologized for not speaking up at the BBQ, admitting he'd been scared of family drama. But the real turning point was coming. David's quiet strength was about to explode into the open, and Lisa's world was about to come crashing down. A week later, we were all back together for a smaller family dinner. Lisa insisted, probably to smooth things over. The tension was thick, but I sat quietly, my heart steady now. David arrived last, his presence commanding the room as always. Lisa beamed at him, playing the devoted wife. But then, as we gathered around the table, David cleared his throat. His voice was calm but powerful, like the hero stepping into the storm. Lisa, we need to talk. Right here, right now. She laughed nervously. Honey, what? No more games, he interrupted, his eyes locking on hers. Sarah told me about the messages, about Mark. While I was overseas risking everything for us, you were destroying what we built. And then you humiliated her at the BBQ to cover your own guilt? The room froze. Gasps echoed. Lisa's face drained of color, her perfect smile cracking. She tried to deny it. It's not true. Sarah's lying because she's jealous. But David held up his phone, screenshots clear for all to see. The family turned to me, eyes wide. Tom reached for my hand, finally standing by my side. Sarah did the right thing, David continued, his tone steady. She's the one who exposed the truth. Lisa, your words at the BBQ weren't just cruel, they were a desperate attempt to hide your betrayal. Lisa stood there, exposed and destroyed, tears streaming as the consequences hit her. The family she'd tried to control now saw her for who she really was. David announced he was filing for divorce, taking the kids temporarily while they sorted things. Her world crumbled, just like she'd tried to crumble mine. In the days that followed, peace washed over me. Tom and I grew closer than ever. He promised never to stay silent again. The family apologized, realizing how blind they'd been. As for me, I felt whole again, not because I sought revenge with my own hands, but because I chose truth over silence. Looking back, I realize this. When someone tries to break you with their words, the universe has a way of sending a hero to step in. Her SEAL hubby didn't just defend me, he brought justice that healed us all. The lesson? Never let humiliation define you. Hold on to your dignity, speak your truth when it matters, and trust that light will always chase away the darkness. Family isn't about perfection, it's about who stands with you when the storm hits. And today, my heart is at peace, stronger and wiser than before.